Hello, welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be doing a full recap of the month of July. I'm going to be going through every single day, every trade I took, every trade I didn't take, every trade I could have taken. Just looking at the pictures of the chart, looking at where I went wrong, where I could have bettered myself. I haven't made a video like this in a while, so let's go ahead and do that, starting with July 1st. Actually, before we get started, it was not a good month. Not trade much. It was very... I think this one needs to go here. Okay, yeah. I was very skeptical a lot through the month. Kind of scared to trade a lot just because of just how rangy we were being. I was very just like in the market, didn't know where it was going. And then once I did like we were moving, I was overthinking a lot of it and it just caught up to me. So that's why there's a lot of no trades, where I remember this week and the prior week, like every no trade day in these 3 weeks, there was a decent trade I could have taken. So without further ado. Alright, I'm yapping. Alright, let's start. So, July 1st, 2026. What do we have? Here's the entry, right? Loss, great way to start the month. So we can see I took off some displacement. I'm already seeing an issue here. I entered at the lows after the move already happened. And I right off market open, it looks like. So that was already pretty bad. Let's see the ES chart overview. So the 5 minute we pushed down, but then we rip up from the rest of the day. Same with the 15. Now the hourly. This is where we can like actually see what happened. So let's start at the 4 hour. See, we're in this area of retracing. I guess the idea here was I thought that we retraced here, retraced 79, and from there we would go down. I'm assuming we did not take it out on NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, it looks a little more bearish. It looked like we were inversing this gap, but we did not. Same thing here. I on pretty much, and then we did end up pushing down. 15 minute down, I entered at the bottom, got retraced on. Always wait for the retrace, man. 5 minute. So I can improve today by picking up on things I noticed, like not letting it affect me in the way where I will think that it will work all the time. I've noticed twice now that I could have caught 2 wins by limit ordering the 5 minute gap because we have been running on certain days. So today moved down, and without much thought behind it, I kind of just 5 minute gap. Okay, I actually remember this now. So yeah, I limit right here, just assuming, okay. Because the prior week, there were 2 entries I could have taken that I couldn't get an entry, but if I just limit ordered the 5 minute gap, we would have tapped it and then went down. Besides that, it had a story behind it, no narrative. It really could have been avoided, but let's see. For mental, I was in my head, I pretty much knew it was cooked the second I got tagged in, but I think letting previous days dictate how I trade, and while yes, the market acts a certain way, that doesn't mean I should be falling into pattern trading. So yeah, obviously we can see it was basically just based off of, okay, this happened, it's gonna happen again. The reason for taking this trade is that we held an hourly gap below. We began down, and I noticed lately we pick a direction and stick with it. So I limit ordered the 5 minute fair value gap and targeted the 1 hour fair value gap, but got stopped out because we were in a gap sandwich. ES wanted to run higher, and we weren't in a spot where I think shorting was good. Looking back, it was very high resistance to go down, and I should have waited for a retrace. I need to treat limit orders like a last resort, I think, especially near all-time high, or use them on the 1 and 4 hour. Yeah, like limit orders, they're good at all-time high, but I feel like most of the time I should avoid them. That's just how they look. So we push down, we're kind of ranging, and then from here, we're in this area where it's like, okay, it's going to be hard for us to go down, but we did come up with a lot of volume, so it's going to be hard for us to go down as well. Yeah, same delivering from a gap, sweep the high, come down, make a higher low, like just really direction. Should have been a no trade day. Let's see what happened. Yeah, we pretty much ranged, and then on ES, I guess we did go up though, which we could hear there's a little more bullish structure here. Just was a very high resistance high. I think I should have sat out this day. So what we could take away from that is really deciding whether or not I want to put risk on the table. Like we could see that above, I didn't want it because it was high resistance, you know, we're kind of ranging the time, getting to like the 0.9 mark, and then from there ripping down. Along with the fact that I just took a trade solely because I've seen it before. It's like just taking a gap tap, you know, like you have a gap and then go right back in the opposite direction. So I think from today, the main thing, or July 1st, the main thing to take away is just pattern trading and really deciding whether or not I'm confident enough to put risk on the table. July 2nd, no trade. So here's the entry I guess I could have taken. Let's go ahead and reverse to see if it makes a bit more sense. So I can improve today by trusting myself more and not letting previous days affect my mental and how I perform. I knew we would dump today, but due to previous events, I didn't. To combat this, I think I need to meditate and sun gaze before trading. Okay, that sounds like really weirdo shit, but I do find I trade better when okay, that sounds so weird looking back, but like I enjoy before trading for like 20 minutes standing right at my house in the sun, letting the sun hit my body. I've been using that instead of caffeine, just getting energy from, you know, circadian rhythm, just more natural ways that caffeine like blocks some of your spikes of adrenaline, you know. Overall, not the best, something where you need to be critically thinking. And I find I do better when I'm in the sun. I have more time in the morning to prepare, getting ready, you know, stretching, and like looking at the sun when it's still like rising and pretty weak, because you're able to look at it. And I was skeptical at first, but I did try it, and it's almost not like a high, but like you stare at it for a few seconds and then close your eyes. Like you really do, you just feel good. But where were we? Alongside my affirmations, which I don't do, but I think repeatedly instilling ideas I want into my brain will help my subconscious take action towards them. So I don't believe in affirmations, or what is it called? The word, holy shit, manifesting. Manifesting is just, same with praying. I think it's really just instilling something into your subconscious so you're taking action towards it without realizing. My mental was pretty bad. I lost yesterday and have been feeling down, but I think that with meditation / sun gazing just started, but really wakes me up, and I feel very happy and confident afterwards. I'm going to affirmations. Alright, let's see this. The reason for taking this trade would have been we create a big SMT off of the swing highs, and we etched a high on ES, which is more of a sign of reversal, and I just had a gut feeling telling me that we would go down today, and I did not act on it. But from there, you could enter on the CISD, or I could have entered on the 5 minute. There were like 3 to 4 different I could have taken for high RR all the way down at the lows, which I've kind of strayed away from lately. I've just been targeting gaps, but I need to go back to it. It's not broken. I used to do it all the time. It works, but overall, this trade would have been good, just anticipating on the fact it's one of those days where we dump. So what do we see? We sweep the highs here on ES. Oh, wait, this is still 1 minute. See, we're above the highs here. There's NASDAQ. We are below them. Right, huge SMT. From there, we have an hourly SMT as well. 15 minute, and 5 minute. Yep. Market opened around here. I guess we push up, and then from there we make an SMT. You know, we retrace, we push down. Yeah, could have entered here really. Targeting the lows for the place where we want to do it. We have a SMT off these like really big SMTs. See, hold up. Yeah, really big SMT. Now it's way down here. And we're pushing up in that high resistance area. We're gonna need to retrace. So takeaway from here, just trust my gut, you know. I think I need to listen to more, just trusting myself. When I have a really good feeling about a trade, just acting on it with, of course, a solid trade. Skipping to the next one, Monday. I guess Friday was a bank holiday, possibly. NASDAQ, July 6th. Let's see the entry I did lose. Again, pretty much entering at the bottom. It's looking like, and it didn't look like moved all that crazy this day. But yeah, again, just like trending higher, prettiest BR. I don't think a short was the best play here. But yeah, let's see. I can improve by targeting targets that have already been tapped by another asset, or sorry, by not doing that. Which I know this in the past, I've always strayed away from it, but this is the first time I made this mistake. I think it was due to brain fog and waking up late and just not doing a good enough analysis, which I should have just stayed away from trading, but I didn't. I made this mistake. I will not be making it again. Cole's insight. The high time frame is we've been ranging, and unless you're willing to put money on the table while we're ranging and being okay with losing during a range day, just getting retraced on and getting edged, then don't trade. Mental. Is a rage made me now memento. What? Whatever. In the sense, I saw a target, married it, saw the first big candle towards it, and took it. Not really my proudest trade. Not what I like to trade with, but that's what happened. I will learn from it though, especially because it was already at ES, so there was no real reason to go there. So let's see what we were targeting. We're targeting down here. Oops. I'm assuming it was possibly like a 4-hour, so I'm this low, or maybe this hourly gap right here. Okay, let's just read it first. Reason for taking this trade is pre-market and overnight we were building up low resistance liquidity after leaving an unmitigated 5-minute gap. So off open we pushed down to retrace, and then had a big candle invalidating the retrace, so I took that, but did end up getting stopped out just because we were in a range and ES already mitigated it. So I shouldn't playing it like the range, and I should not have had the target in mind because it was already tapped. So let's see, we have the 4-hour on ES right here pushing up. We retrace down to this 4-hour gap, and then the 4-hour there's no 4-hour gap. I'm targeting, I guess, a 5-minute gap. I guess something like here. Wait, 9 a.m. here. Dude, these screenshots are terrible. I need to work on that because looking back, I do get confused. So the hourly, I was way down here, but yes, already tapped whatever I was looking at. So, obviously the pictures aren't the best. I apologize about that. But to take away from here, no, not targeting targets that have been tapped. I know this, I don't know why I did it, and when we're ranging, treat it like a range, you know, don't expect us to change the second you enter. Next day, lost again. That sucks. The reason for taking this, simply I got faked out. I wasn't paying attention to the higher time frame and how we edged the highs, then flipped lower. I got faked out by LARP displacement. I saw we went to the lows, then flipped up and took it, even though I was in the higher time frame's interest to continue lower. So right here, we took this, literally worst entry I could take. Let's see. So 1 minute, let's go to the 4-hour. So we can see we're in this range right here. Oops. Same thing. What? Why is a 5-minute? Where's the 4-hour? So yeah, I guess we're pushing lower, still trying to, it was more bullish at the time, but yeah, we're pushing lower. We're right, this was later in the day, but damn bro, these pictures, I need to, about the screenshots I'm taking. The 1 hour, so we have this gap here. Whatever. I was easily sitting on the 1 minute, which it worked for me a bit, but lately it's in my interest to stay on the 5-minute or higher, not get faked out, and only trade when it's apparently obvious. So to do so, I will stay on the 5-minute, set alerts, and play my trades off recent historical data. You know, just using alerts to you, especially when we were ranging. My mental wasn't the best, easily faked out on the 1 minute. Did I just copy it? Yeah, I did. Wow. This sucks because I took the screenshot later in the day, so it doesn't really make sense to me. We'll just go to the night. Nasdaq win. Win. Entry. The 1 hour close. I can improve by taking trades like this. Just when they're very obvious, knowing that the high time frame is, I think I should change where I am taking profit a bit and focus more on taking it when price shows signs of reversing, or just targeting bodies of hourly candles instead of in the beginning of, rather than all of it. My mental was good. I knew what I wanted to see, and I waited until it was very obvious. I took a high time frame entry, and I took it to a draw that I thought was going to hit. But looking back, I think I should have just targeted the body at first low, or been monitoring it, and once we showed a sign of reversing, just close. I do remember this. We did kind of flip up a lot. that real quick. So yeah, I guess I was targeting here, and we can see here we do this. Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I guess I was targeting, got edged really hard. I mean, like, if we that quick like that and then get a bullish 5 minute, I feel like I should just close. I wasn't on my computer. I'd get trailed out though. Yeah, overall definitely could have a little bit more money, especially a 15-minute close. I don't know exactly where I got trailed out though. Maybe it was around here. The reason for taking this trade is because the S&P was more bullish, already passed the jaws on liquidity, and from there showed signs of reversing, while Nasdaq has been going down slowly the whole time. So from there I figured we would go down today, and then when we got that hourly close, we had a bunch of stacked lows below, so I figured we would go right to them, but we were in a range, and I think I was expecting too much. I should have been more conservative with my TP. So yeah, there was a low here, or sorry, at the time, a low here, a low here. I was targeting this one. Definitely, you know, take your TP, be more conservative with my TP, read the room pretty well, like understand how we're be realistic. The 9th break even, so the entry, I remember this day too, bro. This sucked. This was a crazy break even. Should have targeted this low though. I can improve today by more conservative with my TP, knowing that we were in these rangy conditions, and off of any given high or low we could flip and reject, so I should have just targeted the first low and risked more instead of seeing that if I targeted the last low I didn't have to risk as much. Yeah, I remember I was on eval, but I only risked like 500 just because I'm like, oh, this trade is like pretty high R, I don't risk that much. But definitely should have just targeted the first low, you know. We're seeing signs that get in the range and everything, so my mental was good. I saw what I wanted to see. I took it. I walked away once we had my break even, and I came back when break even. From there, I did sadly get all the way back to break even. I should have closed it after we rejected from the first low, which is expected in a range, but I was being greedy. But other than that, I think I did everything well today. The reason for taking this is we pumped up to the top of the range area, which is also a 4-hour gap and a 1-hour gap. From there, I wanted to see us reject after we create a SMT off of the 1-hour gap. From there, we started to slow down, showing that buyers are being trapped, so I took the first inverse fair value gap, showing that we do not want to flip directions. I could have entered a little earlier, but I didn't want to enter too early and predict, so I entered off that, targeting that just because they were nice and stacked, which is exactly what screwed me over on Monday. So I should have taken my advice and just targeted the first one. Yeah, exactly what happened the other day. Should have targeted the body. You can see, wait, it was on ES. Yeah, let's go to the 5 minute, show it. Yeah, we have that low and low, but you can see that's pretty high resistance. It's a big wick. I should just targeted that, and then from there we flip back up. Yeah, just being more conservative with, again, no trade. By doing this more often, not forcing something. So I guess today was very rangy. Didn't want to see it. Didn't like what I saw. Yeah, it looks pretty cooked. Market open. Yeah, okay, good thing they off. Recently gaps are not holding. Look at the entry first. Again, you see, like every loss I'm noticing I'm way too late, so I'm not giving my chance to get a break even, and I'm just instantly getting retraced on. 4 hour. So yeah, we're up, but then we push down, push back up, push. We don't need to fill the gap. You know, we wicked it. We come up again, fail to go get it. You know, no reason to go there. And I think I was taking this trade off of a higher time frame gap. Let's see. Reason for taking, I married the new week opening gap, ignored the high time frame range, and entered off of a good 1 minute move. But zooming out, it was some bullshit. I was too zoomed in and shouldn't have taken it. Straight chopped. I did what I warned myself of, which is entering off of large displacement and marrying the new week opening gap. If I looked higher, I would see that we hit the range top and showed signs of struggle, indicating lower. But I'm getting in my head lately and just feeling very defeated with trading, but I need to get over that and lock in because you're only as good as your next trade. So yeah, just crazy range at the where it is the new week. Yeah, it's way up here, you know. This was also the top range at the time. No reason to be going there. Looking at the daily, the highest conviction and narrative as to higher time frames hold the most power. From this, we can see refer to daily chart under NQ overview. Like, yeah, this. Like, look at that, crazy. That on the daily, every time we put in a low, we either sweep the highs or go to the 0.79, return right back and make a new low, or sweep the low. So coming in the day to look if we made a new low and are respecting it, or if we got close, and then figure out if we are going to make a new low or edge, hold and flip, vice versa for highs. So yeah, we can see we sweep the low, come up, we have a high right here, we edge the high. It's a good point to reverse, you know. That's what we did. Got a nice short, got caught up. So yeah, reading the higher, playing everything based off the higher time frame. If you can't understand a time frame, don't scale low. 14th. No entry. Overall, did I go today? I didn't see one clear direction, so I did not take a trade. CPI ranging clearly, see which direction I wanted, so I did not trade. Let's go ahead and look real quick. Field load. Yeah, CPI kind of just ranged. Okay, yeah. Day 15. By acting what I know, I was getting clouded and overthinking how we have been moving recently, so I didn't act upon. I was overthinking due to the bullish 4-hour gap, even though I'm aware we have not been holding gaps nor reacting off of them. So I should have just ignored this and stuck to the idea that we rejected here and over and over and over. So there should be no reason we don't this time. And short tell the LRL, an unfilled 5-minute /0.79 that I wanted since we made it. So yeah, I guess here, let's look. There was a 4-hour gap. This hourly gaps, but yeah. So what we can see this is, you know, we're still rejecting this new opening gap. We did go up and fill it, and from there, could have got a nice short down to the unfilled 5-minute right here. But I guess I was scared because of the hourly gaps, and the reason for taking the trade would be, I don't know if that's this exact one, maybe if I would have TP'd earlier, entered later, but anyways, the main idea is that we are still within this high time frame range, and from there we hit the top. Again, looking at NQ, we can see that 3 times now we come here and immediately flip back, make a new low. So using this, we could get a bearish bias, and from here, we would want to formulate an early entry with the retrace, avoid getting chopped out or being too aggressive. Yeah, I guess we open up, say, up around here, and then from there, we just immediately dump. Yeah, today would have been a limit order on that 5-minute. But yeah, we could have set a gap or something. Just, again, trusting with the common issue we're seeing is I have not been trusting myself, and I'm getting caught up on the 1-minute. I'm getting faked out by stupid shit. And if I just trade on the days that, like, have a good feeling about, just like subconsciously have a good feeling, good bias, know where we want to go, I really need to just act upon. 16, no trade. What the I can improve today by staying, we're gonna skip this day, fall asleep. Put some we'll read this real quick. The reason for taking the long would have been that we sweep a low on Nasdaq, but ES being more bullish, we didn't sweep it, made a SMT off of it, then made a low time frame SMT, then showed signs that we wanted to continue bullish structure. Lower time frame into a reversal to the highs, and a good ideal discount point where we can then continue lower, making another SMT off of the discount point. We could then look at a SMT on the 1-minute and Nasdaq from there, take a CISD. So that would just be playing the ping pong in the range. I remember that day I fell asleep. 17, win. Nice little 1-minute flip. I actually remember this day, we gotta read it. Basically, we push down into a monthly gap, and from there, the first monthly gap, and so from there I'm like, all right, we're obviously gonna get action out of it. We make a clean SMT off of it. ES didn't tap it, Nasdaq pushed lower on the 1-minute, then we get that nice candle, and with everything aligned, obviously we're gonna go a bit higher, and I just TP'd where I can make 1500. 20th is the entry I could have taken. My mental was pretty good. I knew what I wanted to see. I saw it happen. The only thing is I didn't act upon it. I just didn't think it was worth it. It was Monday. I wasn't feeling the best, very tired and groggy, so I didn't feel like putting risk on the table, but I definitely could have, I think, mentally. I just need to be more prepared, as in getting better sleep and having better morning routine. It would have been S. So yeah, we push up, we tap gap. On the 1 hour, sweep the high from there, reject really hard. Yeah, that would have been on the short. I don't know exactly what I'm targeting. Like, oh, the 0.79 mark, okay. So yeah, that's, again, just, okay, we're at the top. and then we show very strong displacement lower, so from there we could just execute on that. Again, you know, trusting myself, playing the high. 21st, no trade. No trade, but if I were to trade, it would have been a short off of the deep retrace on the 1 minute. Stops at the high and not go break even until we tap the, this was like a very day that we open up and you would have been able to go break even. So we kind of just chopped down to our gap. I don't know if I don't think I marked it out, but it was something like, where's 930? It was like, dude, I didn't put in, dude, my notes, they're not that good, man. I need to do better. What am I doing? I'm pretty sure it was like here, right? And it was like, you'd have to just enter off one of the retraces and not go break even and just be okay with holding that. But, you know, if you were opening, we got a good reaction out of it. That day, I know about taking the short, but I definitely could have taken the long, but super rangy, believe I helped. Did I click this A? No. Didn't take anything just because the R would have been too low, but the reason for taking would have been we swept a low pre-market, which sponsored a move back up to the highs. We had a deep retrace to the 0.5, which also swept out a low. From there, we delivered to the highs in a 1 hour baby gap, which I didn't see myself targeting, so I'm not going to count that. I don't know what gap I'm talking about here. 4 hour, 1 hour. But yeah, pre-market, we sweep that link, could have got it long to the highs, I guess, but again, just really choppy, kind of like shitty, and yeah, like market opened up, you have had to take an earlier entry or like a 1 minute retrace. That's what I was talking about, the retrace to this baby gap maybe, but yeah, my mental is fine. Trade, I didn't truly understand why it was happening, but I saw it. Yeah, I didn't understand like sweeping this low, why we did that. You know, again, just not the bet that I could have been doing. 23rd, no trade, nothing to say. So no trade day. Let's go and look real quick. Shorting. Looks like we had nice volume though. Where's 930? Oh, 930. Yeah, nothing. And then 11. Guess we get ball. Okay, yeah. 23rd, 24th, no, just taking a long on ES or short on NASDAQ. Alright, let's get into it. The reason for taking this short on NASDAQ would have been we have a 4 hour SMT. We're coming from a daily gap after tapping the monthly gap. So we react out of it, but then we continue showing signs that we want to go lower. So we probably want to resweep that low and end up going lower ultimately. And from there off open, we tap into a 30-minute fair value gap, get a nice 5-minute reaction out of it. And you could have just taken that to the low. And then the ES trade would have been after NASDAQ took out the low. ES was still struggling to go down, showing signs that we didn't want to. Made a 5-minute SMT, a bullish one for ES. Then from there, the 1 minute, we have a nice change in state of delivery with a lot of volume. So, let's take a look. On the 4 hour, we could see that I think this was the low, and then this was a second monthly gap. Made a nice 4 hour SMT as well. From there, market opens up. I remember we tap. We tap the minute gap. Is this the 30-minute? Yeah. Push up, tap that 30-minute. Get a nice clean reaction. Could have taken that. Not look at the 30-minute. And I was kind of scared to short into that, you know. It was something that I didn't want to short until it was confirmed, and after it's confirmed, we did reverse. So yeah, from there, we make that SMT, we tap that new monthly gap, and from there we get a nice 5-minute SMT, which that would have been clean. I favor that one more, just because it's in line with tapping a new monthly gap. And then for the 27th, here's the entry, 1 minute GS chart overview, 4 hour, make a huge SMT it looks like. Oh yeah, I remember this, dude. Oh god, dude, we had perfect, I don't even gotta read it, we had perfect shorts to the new week opening gap. Everything was lined up perfectly, and I just got in my head. I saw this, and I was just like, dude, this is too obvious. I'm like, with how we're moving, we get this nice inverse straight towards the draw. I'm like, dude, I just feel like we retrace again, chopped for a bit, which we didn't do. I was stupid. I got in my own head about it. You guys could read this if you want, and due to that, I missed out on the trade. I was very upset about that, just because like it was so obvious it was a good trade, and I just let it slip away due to getting in my own head. Break even. This was a terrible ES short on the 15-minute. It was basically FOMO kind of already made them push down. Let's see. The reason for taking the reason we had a candle on the weekly time frame with no wick, and I never target these. I just remember my mentor one time mentioned it in the chat that they're good targets. So I was already off to that start. From there, we had a nice 15-minute candle, which besides that, there was really nothing. I mean, NASDAQ was more bearish. Yeah, I took it on the wrong pair. Like ended up where we were within a new monthly gap. We tapped a weekly gap. Oh yeah, right. This is when we down to the second monthly gap, which was also like a weekly gap and a 4-hour gap, and just like the 4-hour with chop. It was like an easy point of reversal. Luckily, I was able to get break even, but this trade definitely should have lost. It was absolutely cooked. We were at a really good point to reverse. Like we opened up, we pushed, just sat there getting FOMO, and I ended up entering at the bottom. So yeah, entering at the bottom, not the range, not looking at the higher time frame, and not trusting myself is what's really getting to me and holding me back. Wednesday, my mental was fine. Part of me knew we were going to go down, but the other part of me only wanted to see up. This after we sweep the gap. I mean, tap the gap. Wasn't lower just because of, you know, we tapped a second as well. And it was FOMC, but yeah, we pushed down. No trades. Okay. And then when I went to win the other day, when I took this, manually closed out. Basically, we were in this like big area of, was that the right one? Yeah. We were in this big area here where it's like, okay, we push up. We push up so we could reverse now, but I'm trying to like predict this crazy reverse. We're like out of the going to the draws. We get a nice like little retrace, which could be the start of a reversal, but if we look here, a nice SMT, and then we start pushing up. From there we have a nice break-even point, and overall we have a gap right here, so I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna go tap. I did get I closed here because we started to edge, which I did take my own advice, thank God. But yeah, we created a gap here, and then we retraced to it, and then from there we did end up going up. And then last day I took a loss, terrible trade, took some bullshit 15-minute at like 11:30. It's just terrible. The retaking this is we dumped all through New York Open. I did not take my entry, got some FOMO, saw a 30-minute reaction out of a gap, made a SMT off of it with NASDAQ. From there we had a nice 15-minute close, but looking back it wasn't the best. The reason it lost is because previously 15-minute wicked ES had tapped the 4-hour gap, so there's no reason for NASDAQ to go to one. Again, to a target that was achieved. It was stupid. I don't even know why I went back on the chart. I missed the move. NASDAQ already tapped it, and that day, I know. There's a lot of reflection to be done. That was just a quick little overview. It wasn't the best. My notes have not been the best either. Really need to lock in. But we see the main issue is not following the higher time frame, not trusting myself, getting caught up on the lower time frame, and just letting FOMO get to me a lot as well. So that's going to be it for this video. I know it's not the best, I apologize, but next month I'll do better. My notes are going to be a lot better. They're going to be a lot more clear. I'm going to really make them in like keeping in mind that when I go back and look, I'm going to make them better. I'll catch y'all on Tuesday as I have jury duty tomorrow. That sucks. Whatever. Peace.